Did you think you'd seen the last of me? Honestly, is that a real thought? It was summertime. I mean, people who have been following this podcast for long enough know that in the summertime, when the sun shines, sometimes I fuck off. I mean, that's a weird way to put it. It's not exactly what happened. But welcome back to another season, which is still the same season because it's a podcast and it doesn't have any seasons. Welcome back to Fill My Hole. All right, let's do this. Let's hide the road logo because they're not paying me to use this. I'm paying them. Yeah, I've been gone forever, and I mean, I have no apologies. I was shooting because the summertime is a busy time. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of videos that need to get made. There's a lot of companies that realize, oh shit, we didn't spend enough money on our videos. And that happens often, but I mean that's not even a joke. That happens often. People call and they're like, it's summer and we didn't blow our marketing budget for videos, and we need videos, and you make those, right? So I get a lot of that. And then I was gone for 3 weeks. I went to Greece. If you watch the morning show, I've talked about it. I mean, I'll do it here a little bit quick. What did we do? We went to Rhodes, the native land of my wife's family, and we sat at the beach. That's the whole trip. Honestly, prior to COVID, I had a really hard time, and I don't mean having COVID, I mean this period of time. Prior to the whole pandemic, I had a really hard time just sitting still, like sitting on the beach, relaxing, swimming, and just chilling. I was never the type. I was the type who went on vacations where we chilled a little bit, and then we did a bunch of shit till we were exhausted. My only goal for this whole trip was to swim every day. And I did. High five me. I swam every day. On most days, I swam multiple times in the day. Like we'd go in the morning really early or we'd go late at night. The first couple days were shit for me, even though I still enjoyed them. Excuse me. Because I had the weirdest jet lag I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know why, don't know how it happened. Really weird jet lag. Sorry, guys. I chugged coffee right before I started this, and it just like it went down wrong. But I'm gonna finish it now, so it's okay. Yeah, I'm not the type to get very jet lag. I get a little jet lag, like I have a hard time falling asleep, or I'll get sleepy when I'm going east to west. Like when I come home, I'm like sleepy by 9. But normally traveling to Europe, I get a bit of jet lag. It lasts like a day, and I'm fine. This time, it just took me for a ride. I think we were on the fourth day, and I was sitting. It was like 42 degrees. It was like right after lunchtime, and I was sitting at a restaurant with my wife and my 2 kids, and I looked at her. I was like, I need to go back to the room now. She's like, what's wrong? I go, my body is shutting down. Like I'm so tired. I haven't slept in nights. Like it's been days that I haven't slept more than an hour a day, and I need to sleep because the only times I would be tired was middle of the day. So I would force myself to stay up, and then at night I was wired. Just stay up in bed. Like I'd hang out outside and I'd like look at crickets and shit. Like because we're by the water, so there's all kinds of wild shit. We also had like a family of cats living on our balcony. They were cool, the balcony cats. So like just so tired. I'm like need leave. Ugh. Just grunting. She's like, yeah, fuck, go. So I go and I lay down, and the second I lay down, I'm wired. I was like, no, this is not okay, man. I think I slept for maybe 15, 20 minutes, but then she came in because the kids were getting cranky and they were hot, and my little one was screaming. Very jet lagged. But aside from that, the trip was great. I mean, we came back and people are like, oh, you're back from Greece. How was it? And most people, I gave them the same answer. It was, how do you think it was? It was exactly how you think it was. Because even the worst time there, while not working and being in Greece, is better than the best time here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Here you have your entire life that requires doing and fiddling and whatever. There you're on vacation. I mean, but it's not even that. It's not even vacation. There's something about Greece, and I don't know what it is. I've always joked that I think it's like a genetic predisposition that for me, for myself personally, I speak for myself only. I think it's a genetic predisposition. Like I know my relatives and my ancestors have lived in that general area for at least, I mean, I've done the family tree on one side. I think it goes back like 15, 20 generations or something on my mom's side. And my dad's side, based on their look and my look, even if we weren't from right there, we were from somewhere nearby. Like it's that whole Mediterranean Balkan area, right? So there's something about being there. Like, for example, I'm super congested right now. I have been since I got back. I was not congested in Greece. If you followed any of my stories where I was speaking while I was there, and a lot of people noticed this, my voice changed. It was deeper. It was less, nasally, like this sound that I get. Um, I'm losing my tan now, and the way I've color corrected, you can't really tell. But like, I got pretty dark. I mean, I wasn't a person of color, but I mean, I looked healthier. My beard got thicker, and like, even my wife noticed. She's like, "Your beard feels different. It must be the salt water." I was like, everything about me felt better. I didn't get any lower back pain from sitting all day at a computer when I edit. My legs didn't hurt. I didn't get like sinus headaches because I have no allergies when I'm there. It's phenomenal. And then I come back and it's like, bam! The second I step off the airplane, I feel my eyes start to get itchy. My nose starts to hurt. All of a sudden, I'm just congested. Because I'm congested, I don't breathe right, so then I get like muscle pain here. Why do I live here? I mean, that's the ultimate question. Why do I live here? And I don't have the answer. I really don't. Um, Most likely because this is where I grew up and I've just stayed here. I mean, there's really no good answer. At this point in my life, though, the answer is because I have kids who are rooted here and they have their environment here and they're going to a good school here that I like. They have friends and their grandparents are nearby and their cousins, and that's why, because our family units are here. Prior to here, I have no idea why I stayed, honestly. I mean, when I was in my early 20s, I wanted to fuck off. Um, and it was like something that was on my mind constantly. And like, even choosing this career path that I did, I was like, I can do this anywhere. But then I met Anna, and she had a, I mean, she was finishing school, she's finishing her master's, she was here, she liked it here. Different. I mean, even when we're in Greece, Anna tends to like get annoyed after, I don't know, 2 weeks of just like the Greece-ness of it. Like Greeks are very laissez-faire. They just kind of do their own thing. They don't give a shit. Like you ask for a bill in Greece, and I'm not shitting on them. More power to them. I respect them for it. I love it. They just no one's really in any kind of hurry to do anything. It'll get done. It'll get done properly, but it'll get done when it gets done. I mean, it's nothing to stress about. Um, and that drives her crazy. It just drives her nuts. Also, there's no the whole customer service thing that exists in the West, like in on this side of the pond, that doesn't exist in Europe. Like they don't give a fuck. They'll treat you well. They'll treat you like family. But it's not a customer service thing. It's like you came, I'm gonna serve you. I mean, I'm not gonna treat you like shit, but don't pretend like the customer. Sometimes the customer is wrong in Greece. Very often, you're like, I didn't notice. They're like, yeah, but this is better. Just eat it. Shut the fuck up. And you're like, all right, I'll try it. It's a different vibe. It's a completely different vibe, and I won't go on much longer about that. I mean, how long have I been going? It's what 7 minutes on Greece. That's not so bad. I can go for hours, but it was a fun trip, and I went for coffee with this guy I met a couple years back, who I've had on the podcast, George, the guy who created the what was it called? I keep calling it an iron lung, but it's not an iron lung. It was like a 3D printed respirator for COVID. Um, we had him on, I think, maybe a year ago. He was on the podcast, but I've kept in touch with him because he was like an aspiring filmmaker when I met him. He's about 10 years younger than me. Um, and he's like, let's make a fucking movie today, like right now. And I was like, look, man, I'm on vacation. I don't have any equipment here. Not in the mind frame. My wife's got the kids. Like we want to go swimming. Like it was a bunch of stuff going on. I was like, it's just not gonna happen right now. And he was so like, I saw it in his face. His face just dropped. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I mean, it is my last 2 days. Like that's kind of what's going on. And we came up with a quick, based on something he had already been working on, a concept. I'm like, you know what? Let's write it together transatlantically. Is that a word, transatlantically? I might, whatever. Let's write it together. It's interesting. It's not complex in any way, shape, or form. I like the coded message into the story, like what it's about, the theme. The locations are great, so we'll write it together. You shoot it down here, since you have access to these beautiful locations. Like right where he lives and right where we were staying, there's like an abandoned military base. Like it looks like it's straight out of a zombie movie. So like to not use that is a sin. I go, you shoot it down here. It only requires 1 or 2 actors. It's not a. It's very European in that sense. It's a bit of a short film, like it's a little experimental. I go, and then like, well, I'll storyboard it. You shoot it. We'll do the storyboarding together. We'll write the script together. You shoot it. I'll help you in any way I can in terms of sourcing things for you or figuring stuff out that's if it's beyond your technical know-how, which he's pretty good. Like I don't think we'll run into that kind of issue. I go, then I'll do the editing, and then we'll have a fucking movie. And he's like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So that's happening now. George is. I don't know if you're hearing this, George. You're supposed to be writing right now. If you're not, get fucking to it. But the point of that story is sitting with him It wasn't a long time. We saw each other twice. Once we barely spoke because we were like out, like it was like a concert setting. And the second time, like I was only with him for like an hour, but because he's young, right? Like he's so excited that spark, that creative spark that you have in your like early 20s when you're just learning how to shoot, it's fucking contagious, right? It truly is. And I realized at that moment, like 3 weeks into my trip, I had relaxed, I had decompressed, I had gotten shit off my mind that I wanted to. I was enjoying myself, and then I sat with him for like an hour, and and then he left. Like he went to do his own thing, and I went to do my own thing. And the next day we left, and we're in the airplane, and it's like a shitty flight. It's long. The kids are screaming, and I have like 1,000 ideas. Like, and I've been pretty stuck for a while. Like I haven't had a good idea that I was excited about, and I would say since like beginning of COVID. I've had small ideas that are cool. Like I've had great ideas for clients. I have great ideas for like sketches if people ask me if they need stuff. But like something that I wanted to make just for me, aside from that fucking joke of a doc, because I feel like I've said it so many times. That's why I say it's a joke that I've been working on. I mean, for the better part of 9 years that I still don't understand. And someone the other day sent me a link to a 2 hour YouTube video, which is basically my fucking movie, the way I've been trying to write it, but done by a bro. And he did a good job, the bro. Like he did an okay job. It's not a bad movie. I'm like, God damn it. I took so long, a bro outdid me. Now, I mean, there's more to my film that's not in his and vice versa. Like they obviously have different topics, but they cross streams quite a few times. So like it was kind of disheartening to see. But like, yeah, I just haven't had anything. Is the doc? I've been writing that book for what the last 18 months. That's progressing. I'm not very excited about it, mostly because I'm in a stage where I fucking hate it. Like I don't want to write about it anymore. But I was like, I started this. I gotta finish it. I'm in that part of the creative process where it's like this is a great idea. I'm awesome. It's awesome. Oh, this is getting difficult. Oh shit, this sucks. And then it's oh fuck, I suck. Like I'm at the I suck phase right now of this process for the doc and for the book. Um, and I know from experience, as long as I push through the I suck phase, I'll get to this is awesome again. Like I mean, hopefully. Um, but yeah, I haven't had this like random. It's just I'm sitting there, I'm just getting ideas. I'm like, that's a great idea for a sketch, or this is a great idea for a short film. This would make a cool doc. Like all of, I started writing shit down. I was like, fuck, man, I just needed like COVID fucked me up bad. Like, and I don't mean COVID again. I just mean the whole experience of COVID. It really messed with me. We were just stuck and stressed, and not that it's over. Again, I'm not speaking about the virus. I just mean the consequences of everything that we've lived through the last couple of years. Like, I mean, I don't need to explain it to you. I'm a filmmaker, God damn it. I'm not an economist, but you take one look around, life is unaffordable. Homes don't make sense. They become this unattainable goal that everyone has. Like how, like you buy the house, okay, you buy it. Maybe you can scrounge up the money, but like you're fucked because you bought a house that it's not worth that much. We're still looking for a house because I don't want to feel that way. So we're being picky. Picky is not the right word. We're being careful and selective. But like I have friends who bought houses and I'm like, congratulations. They're like, fuck my life. I was like, I don't understand. You know what I wouldn't give to be in your position right now? They're like, I wouldn't, you know what I wouldn't give to be in your position right now? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then, I mean, for stock market's in free fall. Well, free fall. It's not free fall, but it's a mess. Uh, Cost of living is out of control. My gear, my fucking equipment, like the smallest things have become obscenely expensive. Like gaff tape's gone up like 40%. You know how much gaff tape I go? Half the shit in here is gaff tape. Like that's how I label shit. I'm gonna have to buy or not label stuff. I'm just gonna have to. I don't know. I'm looking around to see what has gaff tape, but like I move my office around. I don't know if you guys can tell. Like my desk, I always do that. My desk used to be in front of me, but like it became troublesome with the window because of the light and like it was always annoying. So like I moved it there and I just have like a table here so I can do this. I mean that's probably one of the main reasons why I haven't podcasted because I was like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna look. I don't feel like resetting the office. I really like the desk over there. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Then I got really busy over the summer. Had a lot of different projects going, and then just trying to wrap everything up to get going, right? And here I am. I'm back. I mean, again, I'm not apologizing. Just it is what it is. I think anyone who enjoys this show has come to terms with the fact that it's not one of those things that you can count on. I mean, you can count on me if you hire me to do something or if you're a friend and you ask me to do something, but counting on the podcast to come out every week like clockwork, it's just not going to happen. Like, as much as I enjoy the podcast, you got to remember this is something that I do for two reasons. Like, it's twofold. One, it's great fucking SEO marketing for me. It really is. I sit here, I shoot the shit for a little bit, podcast this, podcast that, blah, 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 movie, video, video, video. Ta-da! I all of a sudden have a nice piece of content for my website that pushes me up in the SEO. And that's good. People find me. And I've actually, I would say that easily 50% of my new clientele over the last 2, 3 years since I started this has come from the podcast. People who saw it, either who knew me and saw this and they're like, that's a great initiative. You've inspired me to do something too in the video world, or people who didn't know me who came across the podcast and reached out and then fell into Pantelis's network through me. Or most of the time it's the opposite way. Like they come from the bigger. I mean, his is a bigger pool, so they come from there to here, and they're like, yeah, I came for the laughter, I stayed for the existential dread, because that's what you get over here mostly. Um, but we have a good time doing it though. So yeah, those are the two reasons. Oh, no, the second reason, which I never said. The second reason is basically I just kind of like what I'm doing right now. It's verbal diarrhea. Sometimes I just need to offload thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, random thoughts that no one really gives a shit about. But when you put them in the context of a podcast, suddenly you're like, oh, I can listen to this. Like I've had people tell me like, yeah, I fill my hole on in the shower. I was like, that's careful who and how you say that, you know. Uh, but it's like a background kind of thing, and I think I'm not special. Like I'm not thinking of things that other people aren't. I'm not having thoughts that no one's ever had before. I'm not fucking blazing some trail when it comes to the things I say here. I think I'm pretty sure I say the things we're all thinking. Um, I'm sure a lot of people say them also. I'm saying them right here, and you happen to be on the receiving end of this fucking stream, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, I've made some friends from the podcast. Like it's interesting, people I've interviewed, some of the people who listen to the show who I've become close with over the years. And I'm not gonna stop doing film my whole like I might stop periodically and then come back. Like sitting down to start today took 45 minutes. I just could not. I'm like, oh, it's ready, but what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna do? Because I forget how good I am at not really needing the point to talk about. I just kind of go off on shit. Um, Also, I hate staring at myself. Like I gotta figure out another solution for this. Like I sit here and I analyze my face. It can be psychologically healthy, but all that to say, I'm not gonna stop. Like I'll keep doing it. I would like it if the podcast had a bit more structure. One thing I know I won't be doing for a while, anyways, I don't want to do guests again, um, because I don't have the infrastructure to do as much client work as I do, and to also schedule guests. I mean, I could, yes, I could completely overfill my days, but I don't think it's something I want to do. And I don't think I want to take that time away from home with the kids. They're at that age where I'd rather be home with them right now. They don't hate me yet. Like in a couple of years, they won't want me around. So like I'll just come to the office and work. It's fine. But for now, they're sad when I leave. So I'd rather stay with them. And you're gone for 5 minutes, you miss like a giant milestone. That's what having kids is like. Um, this back and forth of me sending out thoughts to, I mean, there's no fourth, right? There's just, I'm just throwing it out. There's no back and forth. Bad example, bad analogy. But this I'll keep doing. This I like. What I would like to do though, and I am completely committed to putting more time into, is to have a two-person show, more of a variety or a talk show about films. And sometimes that will mean talking about the technical aspect of a film, like, for example, I'll use Peter McKinnon as an example because I saw he did this once, where he would just like break down shots. I don't want to break down shots, but I would love to like take a movie, for example. I don't know what's a classic film that has interesting footage. What did I watch the other day? Oh shit, it was. Oh man, I can't believe I can't remember the title. I watched it with my wife, like literally 2 nights ago, and it had these whipping drone shots. Oh man, The Gray Man. I don't know why I couldn't remember that movie. I watched The Gray Man. Here's the example, okay? So I watched The Gray Man. It's for the Russos, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans. Fucking, I'm so happy that he's not Captain America anymore. So take a movie like The Gray Man. I won't get into it now in any kind of detail. Aside from the fact that I'd say watch it, it's a lot of fucking fun. It feels like a classic action, like spycraft movie. Um, I would love to sit down with someone, and I know who. Like I have someone who knows films, and I don't mean the technical aspect of filmmaking. I mean just the films themselves, the industry, the actors, the directors, the producers. Someone who knows that part of it really well, who lives and breathes it. I know it a bit, but like it's not something I occupy all of my time with. But I'd love to sit down with someone like that, discuss the film, kind of give our opinion on it. Maybe Should you watch it? Should you not? Like a kind of, a rating system to some extent. Um, and then be able to like say, oh, do you remember the scene when? And then talk about how interesting the technical aspect. Like I'll use Greyman again as an example. There's some of the wildest drone work I've ever seen in a feature film. It feels like something you'd see on Instagram, and you can see it bleeding its way into Hollywood, where you have these FPV shots for transitions. And for the most part, I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. And you know what I want it to feel like? I want it to feel like it's the experience my wife has when she watches a movie with me. She complains about it all the time. But I think if you're in it to just watch a movie, it's annoying. I get why she gets annoyed with me. But if you're coming for that, it's different. If you're arriving and saying, I want to watch you talk about this, like, I can't watch a movie without breaking something down and being like, whoa, can we stop? Like, how did they do that? I need to see. And I know it fucks shit up for her. Or sometimes the subtlest little camera movements where I'm like, wow, something bad is going to happen. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, she knows too in the back of her mind. So it's that kind of stuff, right? So a little bit technical, a lot about the movies and the history, not the history, but like the stories behind the scenes, like how this movie got made, or like look at what's happening with Jordan Peele and how he's building this Nope verse. Is that what they're calling it now? The Nope universe. Like he went from being like a comedic writer, and he's blossomed into this like fucking auteur in his own right, right? So like that, those kind of conversations. I know who I want to do it with. He's on his honeymoon right now, chilling with monkeys in Bali. So I'm waiting for him to get back, and we're gonna shoot it right here. I'm not gonna overcomplicate shit because that's what always gets me. I'm always like, we need a set, we need a this, we need a that. I'm either gonna shoot it right here on the couch, super casual, just the two of us, with two mics and one camera, or I know Poseidon had shown some interest in being involved because he likes movies. Maybe we'll do it in the front studio and we'll do it with Poseidon. We'll have a little wacky Poseidon antics too. And that's about all I have to say today. Short, but back. Not a long podcast. I think I'm gonna start keeping them shorter so I can do more of them. So you can run through them and like Bullet Train. I haven't seen Bullet Train. I should watch that. I really should. Anyways, if you need videos, I'm currently booking my fall sessions for anyone who does need work, one-offs or multiple project gigs. 2 weeks out as usual. So if you're seeing this the day after I recorded it, which is, I mean, what's today? The 6th of September. I can't do anything in the next 10 days, but then I can start booking. Reach out to me. We can figure out what pricing works for you guys, what kind of videos you need. I know that lately everyone's like, yeah, of course I need videos. You must be, oh, Phil, man, you must be in huge demand because everyone needs videos. And that's true. Things have changed and everyone knows you need video. But I feel like Reels and TikToks and Shorts are getting all of the headlines. Like everyone's talking about, I need these, I need these, I need these. And that may be true. But where do they lead to? Because, yeah, if you're a business or you're an artist or you're a brand, you need those things for sure. Maybe you don't need someone like me to create them. Maybe it's something you can do yourself. But once you get them, because that's just the hook, right? Once you get them, where are they going to find out more about you? So once you get people into your YouTube page or into your website and that kind of stuff, you're going to want them to be able to know your story. And most people won't read shit anymore. So that's where more complex videos come into play, or if you want to run ads, right? So yeah, there's because I've met a lot of people lately who have said, oh, with all this TikTok shit, I have no more business. I'm quitting the industry because everyone's doing it themselves. I mean, that's a fucking defeatist attitude. That's silly because just because something new arrived doesn't mean we don't also need something we've been doing for a long time, but modernized to fit into this new plan. So I mean, I like to think that I figured out a good way to balance those two things for people. So hit me up, balabanos.com. My name, of course, Phil Balabanos. Phil My Hole is back. I'm back. And let's have a good fall and a good winter. I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, if you're new, go and watch the old episodes. Or go watch This Just Thing. I get nostalgic. Go watch it. You've been listening to Fill My Hole. This podcast is available on YouTube in its full video form. If you're lazy and you don't want to Google it and you don't want to search on YouTube, balabanos.com, hit the podcast section. You can subscribe directly to the RSS feed there. My name is Phil Balabanos, and I'll see you next time.